धारे जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारे यशोदनन्दन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदनन्दन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारे यमुना तीरा वनचारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर प्रमनंदे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjano Salakaya Chaksoranmalitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Am Shri Gurun Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagano Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadotam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakanvitam Cha. E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Aripriye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyahivecha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Santakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresam Viswadharam Gaganasadrisam Meghavarnam Subhaangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogibir Dhyanaghamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokike Natham. Vande Lakshmi Padim Devam Sankuchakra Gadadharam Vidyamurtim Hayagrevam Saptartanyana Labdhaye Amurdatma Tamethama Amurdam Aranamebham Pancharatram Ahamacharyam Vande Vaigunda Bhubadhe. So I would like to take the opportunity to thank all the devotees for being here for this program. I'm going to talk today about the essence of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says anybody can master the Bhagavad Gita, they can understand the message from Bhagavad Gita, they can easily preach the message of Krishna consciousness to people around. Very important to gain the full benefit of our presence in this place in Shimachalam. We should participate wholeheartedly. It is said that the knowledge which is not stable, it does not bring the kind of benefits in human life. Number two, the knowledge which is coming from the doubtful source also never brings the kind of benefits in human life. Number three, the knowledge which is not been heard attentively, it also never brings the kind of benefit. The chanting of mantra which is done unattentively also never brings a good benefit. And hearing and practicing Krishna consciousness without having faith in the spiritual master also doesn't bring full benefit for the human society. And number 6, a family without ethical principle is also lost in this world. Number 7, any oblation done for the forefathers by an unqualified person, it also never brings good benefit for forefathers. And number 8, charity given to unqualified person also never brings a good profit in our life. Number 9, living in a place where there is no Vaishnava, it is also doesn't bring a good benefit in life. And number 10, without humility in life, whatever progress you may make temporarily, ultimately will bring a great loss in your life. So in this way, we have come from a different part of the world. Some have come from a very long distance. I've come from Malaysia, and most of you have come from a different temple somewhere or other. By the mercy of Prabhupada and all the Vaishnavas and the devotees of Srimad Shalom have opened up this great facility so that we can come together as a family and we can be benefited very nicely. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is a very, very important chapter. It's going to establish the very foundation of human societies, which is slowly going away from the human society. Especially in the first chapter, Krishna through Arjuna will try to re-establish the institution of family foundation, how it is very important for the basic principle of peace, prosperity and spiritual life of everyone. Very, very important subject matter at the present moment. In the most part of the world, especially the Western world, the European world, slowly this family institution has been destroyed. Slowly people, in the name of advancement, becoming the so-called advancement of technology, medicine, somewhere in the world, European and Western society is becoming a pill-popping society, too much depending on the technology and different kinds of medicine and pills. Although there seems to be very advancing externally, but totally they become very depressed in their life. And somewhere or other you can see people have become more robotic, without any personal, loving interaction among each other. Nobody trusts nobody in the Western world and the European world. Somewhere or other they live together but they don't trust each other. So slowly the family institution is breaking down, especially in the Western world and the European world. So very important for the devotees to re-establish the family institution, because that is the very foundation for peace, prosperity and spiritual progress. That is why I thought there are many other subject matter we can speak from so many different books of Prabhupada. But importantly, when you don't have a very good foundation in your life, just like this building, they are standing very strongly because the foundation is very strong. So I thought it's very important if devotee can be reminded how important to re-establish the foundation in human society so that the human society will flourish, the Krishna consciousness will flourish, and the entire human society can be happy and peaceful even at the present moment. So I'm going to speak on the essence of the first chapter. Before that, I'm going to utter a few prayers from the Gita Mahatmya, the glorification of Bhagavad Gita, had been told by Lord Shiva to Goddess Parvati. Nimnaganam yada ganga devanam achyudam yada vaishnavanam yada sambhu purananam idam tatha. Of all the rivers flowing in the world, Ganges river is the topmost. Of all the deities being worshipped in the world, Achyuta, Lord Krishna's worship is the highest. Of all the Vaishnavas in the world, Lord Shiva considered to be the topmost. And of all the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam is considered to be the topmost. So Lord Shiva has uttered few glorification about the importance of hearing Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita. And I'm going to say what has been mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, what is the necessity for the arrangement of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and what is the necessity for Lord Krishna to appear in the world. Then finally we are going to go into understanding what is really been said in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, why it is very important. See, Lord Shiva has glorified Bhagavad Gita. He says, Gita sasram idam punyam ya padet prayate puman Vishnu padam avapnoti Bhayasokadi varjitha. Lord Shiva says, whoever seriously practicing the instruction given in the Bhagavad Gita, they would become free from any kinds of fear. The ultimate fear in the human society is death, but even the death coming and knocking your door, you become fearless if you follow the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. This is the first thing said by Lord Shiva to Parvati. Gita dhyayana silasya pranayama parasya cha naivam shantihi papane purva janmo kritaricha. He says everybody is suffering in this world due to their previous life karma. If anybody is seriously reading the Bhagavad Gita, he said they will become free from any kinds of karma, and there will be definitely peace and happiness in their life. And the three, he says, Maline mochanam pumsam jalasnanam dhine dhine sakre gitamrta snanam samsara malanasanam. He says that people take bath in the water to cleanse their body. In the similar way, if anybody take bath in the water of Ganges or Bhagavad Gita, not only they clean their body, they will cleanse all the dirty reaction have come along in their life. Gita sugita kardavya kimanne sasra vistare ya swayam padma mahapasya mukat padma vinisrite. He says, in this age of Kali Yuga, people basically will become very lazy. They won't have the kind of inclination to read the Vedic literatures. But there is no requirement for people to read many kinds of Vedic literatures. If they can read Bhagavad Gita alone, if they can understand Bhagavad Gita, if they can apply Bhagavad Gita in their life, Lord Shiva says, they will get the benefit of reading any kinds of Vedic literature, because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Number 5, Lord Shiva says, Bharato amritam sarvesam Vishnur vaktram vinishrite Gita gangoda kampitva punarjanma na vidyate. In the Bharat land, India, there a beautiful holy river Ganges is flowing. Anybody takes bath in the Ganga, they become purified in their life. Similarly, anybody takes bath in the Ganges river of Bhagavad Gita, they will get all the benefit of taking bath in the Ganges river. Sarvo pani sado gavo doktam gopala nandana Vishnu vaktram vinipruktam doktam gitamrutam mahat. He said of all the Upanishad, Gita Upanishad is considered to be the essence. Bhagavad Gita is like a cow. Lord Krishna is the cowherd boy milking that cow, and he is giving the milk of the cow to devotees like Arjun. And finally, Lord Shiva has said another sloka. Ekam sasram deviki putra gitam eko devo deviki putra hiva eko mantra tasya namani yani karmapi ekam tasya devasya seva. Lord Shiva predicted, he says that in time to come, the entire world will be seeking for only one Vedic literature, one scripture. He said Bhagavad Gita will become one scripture for the entire world. And he says that the world will be looking for only one God, and Lord Krishna will become the Supreme Lord for the entire world. People will be seeking for only one service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Krishna become the service for the entire human society. Finally, he says people will be tired of chanting so many different mantras, and people will be seeking for only one mantra which can destroy all the reaction of their life. He said the chanting of the holy name of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you understand the beautiful glorification by Lord Shiva, you will go back and very systematically, very intense way, you will read Bhagavad Gita. Is the solution for all our problem in life. So now in the material world, people are looking for happiness and peace. Despite of so much of so-called advancement in the human society, which we could not have seen 50, 60 years ago, the world have advanced so much, either economically or scientifically. In whichever way you see that, definitely there are great progress has taken place in the human society, but despite with all this progress somewhere or other, human beings are feeling very unsettled. They are very frustrated in life. They themselves do not know why there is a frustration. They have got good family, good wife and good children. They have got lots of wealth, prosperity in their life, but somewhere or other, their mind is very, very unsettled at the present moment. Why? That has been explained by Krishna in the 15th chapter, text 1. Vuridvamulam adasakam asvatam prahor avyayam chandamsi yasya parnane yasya tam veda saveda ved. My dear Arjun, this material world is like an imperishable banyan tree with the root upward, the branch downward, and the leaves of the banyan tree is the Vedas. Who understand this imperishable banyan tree with the root upward and the branch downward, he understands the essence of the Vedas. In another word, Krishna is telling, material world is the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Beautifully, Prabhupada writes in the purport how when a tree is standing beside the lake or river, you can see the tree is upside down in the water. So, our living in the world is like a upside living. Prabhupada says, if you catch a man, you hold his feet up and then hold his head down, how he feels in his life. And you're holding it upside down for a long time. Whether he is the richest billionaire in the world, when he's held upside down for a little while itself, he feels very uncomfortable, even he has got so much of money and other thing in his life. So we are being held upside down by this Maya. And Krishna says very important information, chapter 15, text 3 and 4. Na rupam asyeya tadopalabhyate na rupam na chasya na chalana rupa asvatamyenam suvirodhamulam asanga sasrena rudena chitva. Arjuna, it's very difficult to understand the origin of this tree. The origin of the living being is not easy to understand. Where we have originated, na rupam na asyeya tadopalabhyate, where we are coming from, why we have come to this place, and after the death, where we are heading back, it's not very easy for anybody to understand. Tada padam tat parimargitavyam. Beautifully again Krishna continues, very important for the living beings to cut off this root of this material attachment and go back to the origin where they have come from. Where we have come from, nobody can know where we have come from. We are reading and we are hearing from here and there. But Krishna said, doesn't matter whether you know where you have come from. Even the scientists, the fools, they do not know what is happening in the world. One boy went and asked his mother, he asked his father where we have come from. Father said, oh, we have come from monkey. And he went to the mother, he asked the mother, please tell me where we have come from. The mother said, we are coming from God. And the boy told the mother, but Papa said we have come from monkey. The mother said, your Papa's dynasty is coming from monkey. There are even so many different kinds of unequal statements among the so-called scientists. So Krishna said, doesn't matter whether you know or do not know, but important, you are being here, you're going through repetition of cycle of birth and death. Only way is that to cut off the material world, is that cut off the attachment to the material world. Only the attachment is keeping us in this material world. So here, Krishna says, Nirmana moha jita sanga dosa adiyatma nityam vinivritta kama dvander vimukte dukha sanga samgir gachanti amudam paramavyayam that. It's very easy for a person to cut off the attachment and to go back to Krishna. Krishna says he has to do few things in his life. Nirmana moha. Nirmana means one should cut off become free from the false prestige. Number two, one should become free from illusion. Number three, one should become free from unwanted association. Number four, one should understand they are eternal part and parcel of the Supreme. And number five, they should feel that enough is enough in the material world. And number six, they should feel equiposed in happiness and distress in the world. He said these people, they will go back to the origin. Even they do not exactly know what is the origin is all about. They do not know which God I should surrender, which religion I should follow. Doesn't matter about this thing. But the moment you become free from any kinds of false prestige, you become free from illusion condition of life, you give up the unwanted association, the moment you realize that you are eternally part and parcel of the Supreme, in this way, from this understanding, you are ready to go back to your origin. So somewhere or other, Krishna comes to the world to give us this information, how to free yourself from the repetition of birth and death of this world. So in this way, he spoke Bhagavad Gita. There are 5 important things that have been spoken in Bhagavad Gita. One about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Number 2, about the position of the living beings in this world. Number 3, about the Prakriti, about the nature. Number 4, about the time, how time controls everything in the world. Number 5, about the karma, about the actions of the living being. Out of these 5, 4 are permanent, unchangeable. You don't worry about that. You have got option, you got freedom to do one thing in your life. You have no power to change the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You have no power to change the living beings, natural guna in their life. And you have no power to change the material nature. You have no power to adjust the time. But you have only got one thing, you have got option, you can do it, that is to interact with the karma. That only the activities, your activities, you can play around. You cannot play around with your time. Times, it doesn't wait for nobody here. You cannot, trying to, play around to change God. So there are only one thing, human beings are given a chance to imbibe in their life is the action. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is about action. How you perform action. In the chapter 4, text 16, 17, 18, Krishna explains, Kim karma, kim akarmeti, kavayopyatra mohita, tate karma pravekshami yagyatva mokshayasya subhat. My dear Arjun, even a person is very highly intellectual, but still they find it very difficult to understand what is proper action in the world. Even is very highly qualified. They don't even know what is the proper action, proper conduct in the world. Karmani ape bodhavyan cha vikarmana akarmana cha bodhavyan karmano gahana gati. My dear Arjun, it's very difficult to understand the intricacies of karma, akarma and vikarma. Karma means the action you are doing it is bringing back the reaction of good and bad. Vikarma means the action you are performing only bringing the bad reaction in your life. Akarma means the action you are doing, it doesn't bring good or bad reaction in your life. Krishna said the three things, karma, akarma and vikarma, is very difficult for people to understand. Karmani akarmaya paschat akarmani cha karmaya swabuddhiman manusyeso sayukta krishna karma kare. The intelligent person is a person who sees the action in inaction, inaction in action, is the most intelligent person in the world. That means we don't externally judge anything in the world. Somebody around your crowd who is very advanced devotee, we cannot judge them by externally looking at them. Oh, they're coming for morning program, they're sitting for the Srimad Bhagavatam, they are reading the book and they are indulging in spiritual activities. You cannot judge that person that is a very advanced devotee. Somebody may not be doing equal as him, but you cannot tell that he is not very advanced devotee. Because Krishna said one must go more deeper. Don't judge the book by its cover. Krishna says the intention of a person is very, very important. You got money, I got money. But what is your intention? What is my intention? I got knife in my hand. You got knife in your hand. What is the intention? Maybe I wanted to kill somebody. You wanted to use the knife to cut vegetable. So knife is just an instrument. Everything is just an instrument. But Krishna says your intention of what you are doing. Just like one time the Tukaram is a very great Vaishnava of the Lord. Even and said in one assembly of devotees, he was singing a very beautiful bhajan. He started about 6 o'clock in the evening, then he was absorbed in the bhajan. Then, he forgotten to see the time, it's become 12 o'clock midnight. When he opens his eyes and see that, it's already 12 o'clock and everybody has gone except one fellow was sitting there. And Tukaram felt little bit happy, at least that one guy, he has got so much devotion that he's waited for all this while. So he asked him, how come you, still waiting, not gone like others? How you got that kind of devotion? So the man says, my dear Swamiji, I'm not, having any devotion. You are sitting on my blanket. Only when you get up, you can take the blanket and go. So he was sitting, but his intention is to take the blanket and go, not about the bhajan other thing. So what is your intention coming to the Shimachalam? That is very important. Whether we really have come to see the Abhishek of Narasimha, coming to see the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. Or we thought, we've been in the house all this while, with the children, it's so much frustration. Let me go and, take a little bit of holiday. It's also good if children, Shimachalam has come, but according to the quality of your intention, that is how the result you'll be getting in your life. So in this way, Krishna comes to tell us what is karma, that you do, you get the reaction good and bad. What is vikarma, that you do, only you get the bad reaction. What is that akarma, that it doesn't affect you anyway in your life? What is that? So 5,000 years ago, Krishna came to the world because there was a great confusion in the dynasty of Kuru, between the two cousins of the Pandavas and Kauravas. there was so much of confusions among these two group of people, to understand what actually to be done, what should be avoided. As you know that in the Mahabharata, the Pandavas, they went for the friendly game of the gamble, dice game, and they've lost the dice game in the end of the Duryodhan, and they've been told to live to the forest for 13 years of exile. In the promise that when they finish the 13 years of exile, when they come back, their kingdom will be returned to them. And Krishna went as a messenger to somewhere or other try to avoid this battle fight. Fighting is always never good for anybody in the world. It greatly disturbs your emotion. When your emotion is disturbed, that is how you do more bad things in your life. So Krishna went to the Duryodhan, trying to say something to Duryodhan that things can be settled in a more dharmic way. But Duryodhan was not ready to return the land after 13 years of exile from the Pandavas. Krishna says, doesn't matter, you no need to return the old kingdom to them. They are 5 brothers. At least you give them the 5 villages. One is the Pani Prastham Krishna asked for. Second is the Soni Prastham. Third is the Til Prastham. Fourth is the Virud Prastham. Fifth is the Indra Prastham. Krishna said, there are 5 brothers. At least give them 5 villages. He named that village, but Duryodhan said no. Krishna told Duryodhan, doesn't matter. Now you choose whichever you want to give and give it to them. He said, I'm not going to give an inch of soil going through the eye of a needle. If they can win, they can fight in the battle. And you must know, Krishna is not an ordinary man here. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has arranged the entire battlefield so that this knowledge can be spoken to through Arjuna for the welfare of the entire human society. So Bhagavad Gita represents our life. The battlefield represents the battle we go through in our daily life. We are going through so many battles in our life. On the daily basis, even the morning when you want to get up 3 o'clock morning, the mind says, never mind, take extra 10 minutes. So very beginning you fight with your mind. When you wake up, you fight again. When your husband wake up, another battle. Or your wife wake up, another battle. And the children wakes up, the battle become more greater. When you go to work, the battle starts from the road to the office. Till you come back home, the battle never stops. So we are battling in our life. So Bhagavad Gita represents our life. The battlefield represents the battle we are going through in our life. And the warriors in the battlefield, like a confused, we are very confused, do not know what is the duty we should perform in our life. And Krishna has come kindly to give us the right direction, how you can live in very happy and peaceful way. So Krishna made the entire arrangement of this Mahabharata. When Krishna wants to go and see Duryodhan to talk peace with him, Krishna met the Pandavas first. Krishna asked Yudhishthira, I'm going to talk to Duryodhan to see whether it can be settled without any fighting. So what is your opinion? What do you want me to tell to Duryodhan? Krishna asked Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira says, my dear Lord, whatever you want to talk to Duryodhan, you talk to him, but you come back with only one message, there should not be any war. So Yudhishthira said, don't talk anything about the war. I don't want war. Come back without a war message. And Krishna went to Bhima after that. Bhima, what do you think? What do you want me to tell Duryodhan? Bhima said, my dear Lord, you can talk whatever you want, but come back with a message that should be a war. my gada, my club is waiting to hit him off. Then Krishna went to Arjun. Arjun, what do you want me to tell? Arjun says, look at my wife. She's crying. Look at my Gandhi. My dear Krishna, come back with the message that we have to fight with them. And Krishna went to Nakula, the fourth brother. Nakula, what do you think? Nakula says, my dear Krishna, why you waste your time with Duryodhana? He is not even listening to his own parents. He is very dull-minded, very false ego. And why you go and waste your time? He will never listen to you, Krishna. And Krishna went to Sahadev, very intelligent man. He says, Sahadev, what do you think? Sahadev says, my dear Krishna, you're not only wasting your time, you're wasting everybody's time here. Though like you do not know what to speak, though like you do not know, you are asking Yudhishthira, what's your opinion? Bhima, what's your opinion? Arjun, what's your opinion? Nakula, what's your opinion? You're coming to me asking Sahadev, what is your opinion? What are you going to do? You're going to do what you already decided to do. You're not going to take anybody's advice. And Sahadev understands. Because Krishna is not an ordinary person. You must understand every single word of Krishna. Even one word, you take it very seriously in your life. Krishna did not come here to talk so many things to any of these people. He doesn't want to waste his time. Krishna comes here with only one message. There can be 18 chapters, 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna is not interested in the 18 chapters, 699 verses. He is only interested in only one verse in the Bhagavad Gita. That is the 1866, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Saranam Brajam Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksayisyami Masuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all kinds of sinful reaction. Krishna only comes to tell us surrender. That's only message Krishna wants to give us. But he has to speak other 699 verses, try to convince us that we can surrender to him. That's what at the 18th chapter, text 71 and 2, Krishna will ask Arjun, Kachi retak churda parda tvaikagrena kachita kasid agyana sammoha pranasante dhananjaya. My dear Arjun, have you heard, this conversation with your attentive mind? Have your ignorance and doubt has cleared from you? And Arjun said, Nastamoha smriti labda tva prasaran maya uchita sitosmi kadi sandeha karisye vachanam tava. Arjun said, my dear Krishna, whatever you have spoken, I've heard it very attentively. Now my doubt is clear, my ignorance is clear. I'm ready to carry out whatever you said. Prabhupada writes that this is the sign of somebody who have really understood Bhagavad Gita, that you are ready to surrender to Krishna. Our only problem is that, our body, we have surrendered to Krishna, but our subtle bodies, we are really still keeping it with us. So here, Arjun asked Krishna, who actually you are? In the 11th chapter, text 31, Arjun asked him, Arjun asked Krishna, Akya yimeko bhavan ugra rupam. He said, my dear Krishna, who are you? Why you have come to the world? What is your mission of coming to this place? Akya imeko bhavan ugra rupam. And Krishna answered, Kalosmi loka sayakrit pravada lokan samhartum hiya pravarta rite pitvamna bhavishyanti sarve vasita pradyanikes yoda. Arjun, I am the time. I've come to the world to kill all these people except you, the Pandavas. Everybody else will be killed here. Tasmad Buddhista Yasola Baswa Jitva Sankvam Bangrisam Raja Samritam Maya Vaita Nihita Purmaveva Nimitta Matram Bhavasavya Sakchin. I've already killed all these people, you just become my instrument. Dronam cha, Bhismam cha, Jayadratham cha, Karnam tadanyam api yodhaviran. Maya ataswam jahima vyatista. Yuddhesu jetasi rane sapadmam. I've already killed Bhisma, I've already killed Drona, I've already killed Karna, I've already killed all these people. Just be an instrument and take the glories of this path. So you no need to do anything in your life. Your life is already destined. Devotee must understand. When you are in the womb of your mother, Mahaprabhu told one of the sannyasi, a Grihastha sannyasi. Mahaprabhu was going in the village, the Grihastha sannyasi was there. He was like a so-called sannyasi, but he has got so many attachments to so many things. Mahaprabhu went there, he wants to give him some advice. Mahaprabhu went to him, he said, oh, you're a very nice devotee, give me some advice. And he says that, give me some blessing. He said that, I bless you, you'll have a beautiful wife, you'll have a lot of children, you'll have a lot of money, materially you'll flourish. And Mahaprabhu says, Tallavyate dukkavad anyat sukham khalena sarvatra gambhiraram. So Mahaprabhu says, why you're wasting my time? Whatever material opulence you are talking, is already predestined from the previous life karma. When a baby is in the womb of a mother, there is already 5 things already destined in the baby's life, that when he is going to take birth in this world, what kind of gender he is going to take, what kind of beauty he is going to have, what kind of education he is going to have, what kind of wealth he is going to have, when he is going to die, is already destined when he is already in the womb of the mother. While you are in the womb of your mother, when you're going to take birth, what kind of gender, how much education you will have, how much wealth you have, when you're going to die, already destined while you are in the womb of your mother. Mahaprabhu says, chant Hare Krishna, that's the only thing will change everything in your life. So Krishna told Arjuna that I am the Kala, supreme controller of the world. And Krishna comes here with the message. Yada yada ye dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudanam dharmasya tadarmanam sujamya aham. I've not even come to the essence yet for the first chapter. I do not know how much time we have got. Till what time we have got to be here? And you all been told or not? Till what time? As long as I want. I may get kicked out from Simachalam by your advice. So 1.5 hours. So we'll finish it by 12:30. Then we'll open it for any comments or any doubts. So Krishna comes here for reason. He says, Yadha yada ye dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamya aham. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskritam dharma samsapanartaya sambhavami yughe yughe janma karma chame divam ivam yoveti tadvataha tyakhum deham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. Krishna comes to the world to re-establish the principle of dharma. There are 20 things, principle as known as the dharma. You have to check every day in your life whether you are living according to dharma or you are going against the path of dharma. Coming to ISKCON is an organization here. It's a platform for you to understand the principle of dharma and to imbibe and practice the dharma in your life. So it's a wonderful organization, spiritual organization. ISKCON is a platform for you to practice your dharma. Simply by visiting ISKCON and go back, you cannot go back to spiritual world. Prabhupada said just like visiting hospital, you got a problem with your health, you visit hospital, you don't speak to the doctor, you don't take the prescription from the doctor, and you're hoping that you'll become cured. That's not going to happen. You're going to the university, just enroll your name, but you don't take education, how to become graduate. So you have to take the education. So the real understanding is that there are 20 things Manu, the law of mankind, have given a 20th principle as dharma, And this is why Krishna is coming. There is imbalance in this 20 thing. When the adharma becomes more greater, more bigger than the dharma, Krishna comes. When there is an imbalance in the principle of dharma. So there are 20 things in the dharma, principle of dharma. Number one is ahimsa. Become free from any kinds of violence. There's a violence in your mind, there's a violence in your speech, there are violence in your physical body. When you always thinking ill about others, there is the violence in your mind. When you do violence in your mind, next life you're born as a human being in the world. When you speak, irrespectfully to any other people, use your mouth to agitate other people and to tell lies. When there's a violence through your speech, next life, be born as an animal. When you use your body, physical body, to punch somebody, to kick somebody, to kill somebody, abuse people with your physical body, next life you're born as a tree and plant in the world. So here, Krishna comes here to re-establish dharma, so that we no need to be born as a human being, no need to be born as a tree and plant, no need to be born as an animal. He said number one is that ahimsa, we should become free from violence. And number two is that satyam, we should be always very honest in our life. Number three is asteyam, don't try to take other people's property. Number four is brahmacharyam, we must able to control our knowledge acquiring senses, the ear, the eyes, the nose, the tongue and the skin. Number five is sama, we should be very forgiving in the world. And number six is dhritti, that we should be very determined to follow the path of dharma. And number seven is daya, we should be very merciful, we should live happily in the world, we should let others to live happily in the world. Number eight, midhara, we should be very grateful in our life for whatever we are receiving. Number nine is that we should be very simple, whatever you have got in your life, you should be happy with that. Number 10 is saucham, you have to keep your heart inside clean and your body outside clean. Number 11 is the harihi, you should be very humble in your life. Number 12, you should be very happy in your life all the time. Number 13, you must have a great faith in the path of the principle of dharma. Number 14, you should give some charity for the betterment of the world. Number 15, you get some opportunity, come and sit and hear on the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. Number 16, in the house you do some puja for the Lord in your house. Number 17, before you make any decision in your life, you think the consequence of your decision, what the decision will bring, what result it will come. Before you decide anything, see the consequence of your decision. Number 18, always chant the holy name of the Lord. Number 19, that you do some austerity. You may like a lot of things in your life, but that may go against the path of dharma. So you withdraw that, adharmic activities, that is austerity. And number 20, you follow some fasting in your life, like Ekadasi Vrata, like, Kartik Vrata, and so many fastings are there. So these are the 20 things, given for people to follow. So when people are not following these things, Krishna is coming to the world. So now in the similar way, 5,000 years ago, when there was a great, confusions about, what is dharma and what is adharma, there is a necessity for Krishna to come back to the world to re-establish the dharma. And he has to do it in the better field, because better field is the right place for you to understand about life. It's a practical place, the practical application you can do where you gain wisdom in your life. At one time, after the battlefield of Mahabharata, Uddhava asked Krishna that how come he didn't help the Pandavas, when they were in difficulty, when they went for the dice game, gambling, where Krishna did not go and help. Krishna said that there's only one rule for the people of the world to become successful in their life is that they should have viveka in their life. Viveka means they should have wisdom in their life. Just reading the book, just repeating the book like a parrot is not going to help them to make a right decision in their life. Only they make a right decision through the experience of their life. And Krishna says that the wisdom of life is the only rule where people can become very successful in their life. And that moment when Duryodhana was playing gamble, when he was playing with Yudhishthira, and that time Duryodhana had that wisdom. Duryodhana know that I do not know how to play the dice game. He called his uncle Saguni to come and play on behalf of him. But on the other side, Yudhishthira know that he also don't know how to play the dice game. I'm the uncle for Yudhishthira, just like Duryodhana called Saguni. Yudhishthira should have called me. If I and Yudhishthira go and play the gamble, you think who will win the game? So Duryodhana used the wisdom, but Yudhishthira did not use the wisdom. So we are sitting here. We have to ultimately go a little bit beyond knowledge to become Vigyan. Samodama, Tapasaucham, Santirarjavam. If it's a Jnana Vigyanam, a really first class human being, he also applies, Vigyan. He learns through all his, the path of life. So now Krishna brings the battlefield so that you learned about life. Just talking and talking and talking, just like somebody said, oh, I've been reading the cookbook for 5 years and I know 100 recipes. And when you ask him to go and cook the recipes, he don't know how to do it. There was a man, he was reading the cookbook and then, one day he wants to cook something and then he put the pot on the stove and then he put all the vegetable, everything, he closed it. He went and sat and watching the TV for half an hour, then come back, nothing is cooked. And he called his friend, he said, I bought the cookbook from you. Then his cookbook says, put this one, and you'll get, very nice, preparation of food, but, nothing is cooked here. So the friend asked him, whether you light up the stove or not. He said, that was not written in the book. So you blindly just follow. So Krishna wants you to act according to your realization, what you understand. It's very important for somebody who has gone through. When you go to that person, he gives you the very realistic, advice to you. And somebody just doesn't go through, like, you got a family problem as a grihastha. You go to a brahmachari sannyasi, what they can advise you? Their life is always joyful, no problem, no nothing here. But you go to another grihastha who has gone through, then they will tell you. Like, Prahlad Maharaj told his father, Tat sadhamanye suravarya dehinam sada samyagya dhiram asad griya idvada papam griya andakopam vanam gato yaddarim asrayetya. My dear father, you are very miserable in your life because you have come to the temporary material world and you have accepted a temporary family life. You have fallen into the dark well and you are searching for water in the well, but there is no water, only suffering. And you want to become happy, say go to Vrindavan. There is a person sitting there, he can make you happy. So like that, Krishna arranged the battlefield and it can be spoken. So Krishna brought Arjuna on one side, the Pandavas, and the Kauravas, Duryodhana gang in another side. And it's a time that, Arjuna has to carry out the order of Krishna. He has to go and directly, fight with Duryodhana and get back whatever belongs to them. But that moment, Arjuna was perplexed, he got, affected by his emotion. Beautifully, Sanjaya says, Tam sada kripaya vistan asrupurna kuleksanam visidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudhana. That due to that, material emotion, that, Arjuna have, refused to fight in the battlefield. Tatra pasya sitan parda pitrinati pitir maha acharyam matulan britran putran pautre sakimasana Swasuran Hridaya Saiva Sanayor Ubayor Api. The chapter 1, text 26 onward, very beautifully explained. When Arjuna came to the battlefield, he saw all these people. He saw that his grandfather Bhishma is standing on the opposite side to fight with him. His teacher who have taught him all the art of fighting, Dronacharya on the other side. All his grandfather, relative, cousin, to everybody is standing to fight, and somewhere or other he has to kill all these people. He felt the compassion that I shouldn't do this thing. Drishtave mam swajana Krishna yuyusam samapashitam siddhanti mama gatrani mukam cha parisusyate vepusucha sarirame roma hasa jayate gandhivam samsate asa tokchaiva paridhayate. He said the Gandhiva bow is slipping away from my hand. My body is shaking, my hairs of the body is standing up, my lips and my all drying up. He said, Papam, he said, Kim no Rajena Govinda, Kim Boge Jivitenava. I don't want even the three worlds. I don't want even this kingdom. What is the use? Fight with these people, kill them, and they're not going to be there to see that we are ruling the world. To whom we are going to do this thing, but they're not going to be there to see this thing. What is the benefit of doing this thing? So that is the time Arjuna speaks the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Now is the important side you have to understand. This is the message Krishna giving through Arjuna. Why? Arjuna refused to fight. And Arjuna says, Kula saye pranasyanti kula dharma sanatana dharmanastam kulam Krishna adharma bibhavati vutha adharma bibhavat Krishna pradusyanti kula striya Sri Sudhistresa Vrishneya Jayate Varna Shankara Sankaro Narakaya Evam Kula Jnana Kulasya Sija Patanti Pitaram Yeso Lupta Pindada Kukriya. Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, by killing all these men standing here, there will be a big distraction in the world. He says that Kula Dharma, there is a family tradition is there, there's a family institution is there. And the family institution is for the betterment of the people in the world. If I kill all these men here, who's going to protect the woman in the house? The women, they need protection. Who's going to protect them? And it's only the woman can produce the wonderful children for the betterment of the world. Today the world is the greatest problem because all unwanted children are taking birth in the world because they do not have a very good family institution here. Then he says, if I'm going to kill these people, there will be no protection for the women here. When women are not protected, and there will be a degradation in the familyhood. And who's going to do follow all this, the family, tradition for the betterment of the world? That will be unwanted population will come in. And, even somebody dies, they're going to offer pinda, that they've got to do some final rites for somebody dies in the family, but there is no good children, in the family who is going to follow up these, religious activities. So Arjuna says that it's very important that, family institution must be protected, and men should be there to protect, the woman, and woman with happy, protection and environment, they will produce a wonderful children for the betterment of the world. If you got time today, go and read, chapter 1, text 39, where these verses are began. Prabhupada writes there, a good population is very, very important for the peace, prosperity, and spiritual advancement of the people of the world. So now Arjuna says that women should be protected, and if they are not protected, there will be unwanted population coming to the world, and due to that, I will be the cause of, destroying the entire, human tradition in the world. So we have to understand that the Shastra says human life is meant for purification. Arjuna said a few things. He said that there's a family tradition is there to follow. There must be a good population, and there must also offering of pinda when somebody dies. So I'm going to explain to you these three things here. In our religion is given 16 samskaras, purificatory process. Janmana jayate sudra samskara bhavadvija veda vada pava vipro brahman janati hiti brahmana. That while we are in the womb of the mother, we come out from the womb of mother, we are coming out like animals. We don't even know what to do in our life, how to eat, what to do, we do not know. So, very beginning that human should be, establish the principle of dharma, the existing of the Lord in people's life. So there are 16 samskaras, dharmic purificatory processes given. One is the Garbhodan samskara, second is Pumsavanam, third is Simontanayam, fourth is Janda karma, fifth is Namakaranam, sixth is Niskramanam, seventh is Annaprasanam, eighth is Chuddadari, ninth is Karnaveda, 11th is Vidyaramba, 12th is Upanayam, 13th is Vedaramba, 14 is Kesarda, 15 is Samavartana, 15 is Vivaha, 16 is Antyasimi, when you die already, what to do with your body. So we have to know how to do the final rites for this person. So now the Shastra say, Garbhadan Samskara, now you wanted to go and do a cooking, you get ready the kitchen for cooking. You want to go and sleep, get the, for your bedroom ready for sleeping. Now you want the child to come into your womb, you get the womb ready for the child to come into your room. So that process, for the wonderful child to come in and reside in your womb, that's the first thing you do as a husband and wife, that you want a child. And you need a child, Prabhupada says, there can be so many stars, but one moon, many stars cannot be equal to one moon. So you want a children, no headache for you, no problem for you. You have to produce a child, who can, follow the path of dharma. And for that reason, Garbhadan Samskara, before a man and woman, join together in the process of making baby, there is certain spiritual, activity should be done. And this is the number one process for the family man to follow. A good children, there are 12 kind of children are born in the world. Now the child, you ready the womb, and then union with man and woman. Now the child is growing in the womb. Now the second purificatory process, Pumsavanam, when the woman is 3 months pregnancy, there's another religious activities are done for the protection of the child and protection of the mother. On the 6th month, of pregnancy, there's another spiritual activities, religious activities being performed, so that, the woman and mother can be more, advancing in the spiritual life. Some process is done. Number 4th is that Jada Karmam, when the child is born ready, before the umbilical cord fall down, the father has to go and pick up the child. He take little bit gold, he take the honey and put it in the tongue of the child, he utter the Maha Mantra, so that, many lifetime karma of the child can be, reduced by doing this one process of Jada Karma. And number 5 is that Namakaranam, when the child is born, then, name giving ceremony. You choose the right name for the child. He can be reminded all the time about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Number 6 is the Niskramana. When the child up to 4 months old, you don't take the child out for outing. After 4 months only, you take the child. First you go and show it to the sun god, because he is the highest of the Lord. The 7th, Annaprasanam, when your child is 6 months old, is growing the first stage, is ready for eating grains. You offer to the Lord some grains and then you give it to the child first, Annaprasanam. The 8th is Chuddadari, the hair cutting ceremony for the child between 1 and 3 years. And the 9th is that, ear piercing ceremony. And number 10th is that, when the child is 5 years old, the father becomes the first guru for the child. He takes little bit rice mixed with the yellow powder, and then, and the turmeric powder. Then he takes the child and he writes the first alphabet for the child. He becomes the first father, first guru. And number 11 is that, Upanayanam, that the child is sent to the Gurukulam, to the spiritual master, to learn how to control mind and senses, spiritual education. Number 12 is Vedaramba, when the child is 8 years old, that, he's been taught, Gayatri Mantra. And the 13 is Kesarda, when your girl comes to the first menstruation, that she already no more small girl here, can run around and do anything they like. There should be, another ceremony to make them to understand you're already grown and you're ready for the second stage of your life. And the 14th samskara is that, when you finish your education, graduation, you go to the temple thanking the Lord for all the education you have gained. And the 15th samskara, religious activities, that, marriage, that, you arrange the marriage for the children. And number 16, the samskara is that, antyesti, when you die ready, you're going to be there for 10 days, minimum 10 days. When a person dies, minimum 10 days, he is going to be in that place. On the 11th day only, the soul is going to make its journey from here. According to the Garuda Purana, for the Brahmana, the soul remain here for 10 days. For the Kshatriya, the soul remains here for 13 days. For the Vaishya, the soul remains here for 15 days. For the Sudra, the soul remains here for 16 days. Somebody died in an accident, the soul remains here for 1 month. Somebody committed suicide, the soul will remain here for 1 year. So there are some religious activities to be done so that, the soul can make a very easy journey. So Arjuna asking, if I kill all these men, and the women are not going to be protected, and who is going to do these things? Arjuna is asking Krishna. And he says, and Arjuna said, there are unwanted population. There are 12 kinds of children are born here. One is called Aurasan, Setrajan. Number 2, Tattan, Kriti-raman, Kudotaman, Abhavitan, Kanidan, Sagodan, Kinidan, Bahunarban, Suyatatan, Parasavan. There are 12 kinds of children. The first child is that, Aurasan is that, they are born from the very legal marriage. But they did not undergo any process of samskaras, as I said before. That, when you want a child, you become union, you have to do certain ceremony to get a wonderful child. But they're legally married, but they did not do any ceremony to get a better child. So one kind of child is born in the world, Aurasan. Setrajan, now they are married, but they're not getting a child. Now the sperm is taken from another man, injected into the womb of this woman, and she become pregnant. So this child is not the same as the first child. It is called Setrajan. It's a test tube baby coming out. And the third is that, Tatan, that, this child is born and he has got many child. He give one, to his cousin or brother, relative who don't have a child. And the fourth, they take up, this child and then they take care nicely like their own parents. And the fifth, kind of child is that, Kudotaman, that, they do not know to whom this child is born. She had so much affair with so many men, she do not know who is the father of this child. So there's one child is born in that manner. And number 6 is that Abhavitan, that the child is born, but the parents, being too young and, irresponsible, they throw away the child in somewhere. Somebody, found the child in somewhere, in the rubbish bin or somewhere, they take and bring up the child. That is the child called Abhavitan. A 7th is called Kanidan, that before getting married, she already given birth to a child. That child is known as a Kanidan. And 8 is called, Sagodan, that during the marriage, she is pregnant. There's another kind of child. And the 9th is that, the child is that they sell the child for money to another person. It brings up the child. That is called, Kinidan. And the 11th kind of child is that, Bahunarban, that, the woman from the second marriage, the child is born. There's one kind of child. On the 11th, name of the child is that, Suyatatan. He do not know who is his parents. He goes around, look around somebody, and then he begs somebody, please, adopt me. I become a good child for you. And 12, called a Parasavan, a Brahmana man, engaged with the Sudra woman, a man who knows the path of Dharma, a woman who do not know the path of Dharma. They join together, they become, the union, the child is born, is known as a Parasavan. There are 12 kinds of children are taking birth in the world, and they're bringing different problems to the world. So Arjuna is telling, if I go and kill all these men, the women will become, unprotected, and when the human, society are not taken care, there will be unwanted population in the world. So what to do? And another thing Arjuna says that, if these people, die, and who is going to offer the pinda? So now the pinda is that 5 things. They make a rice bowl. The rice, cooked rice mixed with milk, mixed with black sesame seed, ghee, and then, honey. These 5 things together, you make a rice bowl. when somebody dies ready, the soul is going to be there for 10 days. Now you make a pinda, the mix of these 5 things. One day, first day after the cremation, you offer 1 pinda, the soul will get the head. You offer 2 pinda, the next day, the head will get the eyes, nose and tongue and ear and everything. And the third day, it gets, the arms, the fourth, the chest. In this way, on the 10th day, the soul will have another body. Now he is ready for traveling. Now his journey is going to be 1 year journey from here to the Yama planet. Yama planet, is about 560,000 miles away from here. And then, he has to pass through 7 planets, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, and so on. And it's going to be 80,000, miles away from each planet. And, it's going to be a 1 year journey. And 1 year, every once a month, you're going to stop in one places called Yamyapuram, Sauryapuram, Nagendranagar, Gandhamanadapuram. 12 places you're going to stop, and every month when you stop for resting with the Yamadutas, the family should do, offering again. And Arjuna is asking, what is going to happen to all those things when, the family root, the man is going to be destroyed here. He said that, Dose iter kulaghyananam varna shankara karake utsadayanti jadi dharmam adharmam sasusrama. He said, my dear Lord, it is going to be a very great sin by killing all these people here. Narake Niyatama, I've read, I've understood. If anybody going to destroy the family tradition, the family institution, they will go to hell. So I'm not ready. Evam yuktvarjine sanke radopasta upavisar visraya chacharan chapam. Soka samigya manusa. In this way, Arjuna gave his argument and he, cast aside his arrow and bow and he told Krishna, I'm not willing to fight. So the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is to re-establish the family institution. Even Hare Krishna movement will be destroyed if your family institutions are destroyed. That's why devotee must be very careful, understand. The very reason we are coming together, husband and wife, so that we can re-establish a proper family institution. That will be a very wonderful children can be born in the world who can be assisting Lord Krishna in the establishment of dharma for the betterment of the world. So for that reason, Prabhupada himself as a sannyasi, normally sannyasi do not take part in the marriage ceremony, but Prabhupada himself conducted all the marriages, hoping that there are many children can be born in the movement. If you look today in the Islam religion, Muslim, they don't have any philosophy in their religion, but they're expanding very big because they all got ready-made devotees in the family. They make devotees within their own family. I mean they give birth to so many children. So you got a mission in Krishna consciousness. The first chapter you preach to the people. Importantly, they should be situated properly. If you are not situated properly, how are you going to educate the world? There was a man, he had a eyes problem. Somewhere or other his vision become little bit problem. He went to so many doctors, but no doctors were able to help him out. And finally one doctor told him there is one Swamiji in one village, you go and see him, he can help you. So he came to the Swamiji and talked to him, I got eye problem. Swamiji said, don't worry. He said, for next 3 months you only see green color, don't see any other color. Only green color, you'll be okay. So he came back his home, and then his home, his house is not green color, all white color. So he buys some paint and then, painted the house. But he's not able to paint the whole house because he don't have that kind of money. So after 3 months, he went back to the Swamiji, and the Swamiji asked him, is your eye problem okay? He said, I still got some problem. He said, how come did you been seeing the green color or not? He said, I only had this much money. I painted, my house, whatever money I had. But a certain portion of my house is not been painted, so I'm not able to see the green. And the Swamiji said, you must be stupid, number one, Why you spend money to go and buy so much of paint and all those things? If you can buy one green glass, put the green glass, you'll see everything green. So you want the world to be changed, you have to change. First thing, Krishna consciousness, start with your family, nothing else. You cannot become a good teacher if you yourself not practicing properly. Talking, anybody can talk. Christian got so many good things to say about, life. Isn't it all about love? The Muslim, you talk to them, they talk about all about love. God is loving and this and that, but take a gun, shoot everybody. Now, everybody talking so many things. But, who's applying, they will become very successful. Why Prabhupada was successful? Because he's applying it. There was a boy, he went to the school, exam, finished exam, he came back, the father asked him, how was the exam today? He said, oh, all very good. The father asked him, did you answer all the question? He said, there was some difficult question, there was some easy question. So father asked him, did you answer all the question? He said, the difficult question, I do not know the answer, I did not write. The father asked him, how about the easy question? He said, father, I already know the answer for the easy question, why I should write there? So is one thing, but you don't apply it, it's not going to be very helpful to you. So very importantly, we have to advise to the people in German, you are in Germany now. First thing, take care of your family. First important thing, your family institution is your foundation. If you're not growing well, how are you going to practice everything else in your life? True or not? So very important thing, we have to establish the family institution. So Krishna through Arjun, he brings this information that to come to the level of surrender, you start from where? From your family. Produce a good children. Give all the love to your children up to the 5 years old. After 5 years old, get them sit down and tell them there are 5 important things in life. One is wealth. Another one is relatives. Third is elders. Fourth is habit. Fifth is education. You tell your children you can let go the wealth, you can let go the elders, you can let go the relative, you can let go your personal habit, but for no reason you can let go the education. Emphasize to your children, study, 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 study. When they studied properly, their money, wealth will look for them. The relative, the elders, everything will come and look for them. So the only duty of the children is that education is nothing else. There are no children, you see now, who is the first class children, second class, third class, fourth class, there are 4 kinds of children in the world. He said the first class children is that they will do everything in their life without being told. You don't need to tell them, you take a book and read. You don't need to tell them it's time to take bath. You don't need to tell them it's time to come and take your lunch or dinner. Without being told, whichever children doing their work, they are the first class children. The second class children, they will do after being told. The third class that, they will do after being told so many times and they will grumble and do. Oh, mommy, always you're on my case, always, but they will do. The fourth class is that even 1,000 times after telling, they never move 1 inch from there. Is a fourth class. The Sastra said they are not putra, they are mutra. Mutra means the urine. They mean they are useless in the world. So you have to make sure that your children can become first class. Cannot become first class, never mind. Try to make them second class, at least they do after being told many times. Or cannot, never mind, make them a third class that even they grumble and do what they have to do. But never let them to become a fourth class that they disobey everything, their life become very miserable and useless in the world. So we are living in the world, we are producing everything in the world for the betterment of our family. So family, tradition, family institution is very important. That is what Arjun emphasized to us. So thank you so much for being here. And anybody has got any questions or any comments before you go for lunch? Yeah, Prabhuji.
Krishna, thank you for this inspiration. And we have a small baby, nearly 1 year. And I just wonder how to make everything. So
Yeah.
Spiritual how to find time for everything. So for spiritual practice, for work, for family, for the baby, and I just feel it. I need 48 hours for everything, not 24, not 25, not even 30.
You're 48 hours of what?
Of time.
Oh.
Every day has to be 48 hours.
48 hours. Well, Prabhupada said that is your intelligence, how you manage. Is your intelligence. So importantly that, first Prabhupada says for the devotees, first thing is that they should take care of their health. Second thing, they should chant, Hare Krishna. The third thing is they do some prayer for Krishna, service for Krishna. And fourth thing, they should read his book. So you spend some time, at least, to focus that your health can be taken care. And, spend little bit, time whether you can chant at least, 2 rounds a day. While you're playing around with the baby, carry the baby. Even, it is not very good round, doesn't matter. You keep, in the system. And, you do little bit reading, while you're on the work, hearing or whatever way. So somewhere or other you have to inject Krishna consciousness in your activities. There was a teacher, professor in the college. He took an empty jug and then, he put, a lot of big, stones in the jug. And he asked the children, is the jug is full? Of course, he put, up to the full. The children said the jug is full already. Then now he take a small stone, he put it inside again. Then he asked, is it full? They said it's full. And then he took, now sand, he put it inside. Still, he said can be put. Then later he poured little bit water. The intelligent way, you must know what is your priority in your life. Nowadays people, they spend, you spend little bit solid time with your family, with other thing. Importantly, you can do all those things, if you're very strong, very healthy in your life. So to do all the thing in your daily life, make sure that you are strong enough. If you're not a good swimmer, you want to help all the drown, is not possible. So importantly, you take care of your life. And second thing is that, your family become the primary, subject in your life. Importantly, your family now becomes second. Nowadays people put, all the social media, which should be the last one, they put it in the first. They spend all the time in the social media, this and that. They have no time for the family with other things. So, I'm not married. I didn't have a girlfriend, so I did not have a children. I do not know what you're going through. But, my mother told me, don't get married. Life is miserable. So I followed my mother, what she said. My mother said, whenever your brother and sister all married, whenever they call, only talk about problem. You're the only fellow when he call, he say, chant and be happy. Chant and be happy, mummy. Take some prasadam and be happy. So you're the only person, never brings any problem to the world, so you remain bachelor. So somewhere or other, by the mother's blessing and Krishna's blessing, I did not go through. It's a very difficult subject matter, it's not easy to, at the present moment, Kali Yuga, to live, with, family environment, take care of the children. Because the children, I know, they are with you for little while. They go to the school, they meet so many other people there, and they get different kinds of education from different people. So there are great challenges are there, in family life. I agree with you. But somewhere or other Krishna has got his plan. You have to every day pray to Krishna to give some intelligence and protect your family. Krishna says in the chapter 1857, Chetasa sarva karmani Mai sannyasi matparaha buddhi yogam upasrita machitam satatam bhav. Krishna said, my dear Arjun, always you stay under my protection, always you depend on me, all your activities, always conscious of me. If you do these three things, depend on me, be under my protection, conscious of me, you'll overcome all the obstacles of life. If you don't follow what I said, if you act according to your false ego, he said, you'll be lost. So you have to go back to Krishna and say to Krishna that I'm under your protection. When you wake up first thing in the morning, you tell Krishna, when you wake up and sit down, this is what we tell to Krishna. Say, wake up, sit down, Krishna. I agree, I believe what you said in the 1857, that Krishna, I am under your dependence, under your protection today. I'm depending on you in all my activities and I'm thinking of you. So I'm doing this thing, please help me that, give me protection, let me, go through and be succeeding in all my work. So you have to pray to Krishna for that. It's not an easy subject matter. But when for Krishna, nothing is easy, everything, nothing is difficult, everything is very easy. So you will do it, don't worry. Prabhupada have done it, Bhakti Thakur has done it, so many Grihastha is doing it. It's a heart of, so you have to go and learn from another successful Grihastha around. There are many other successful Grihastha who have got children and they are doing very well in Krishna consciousness. And the family also, somewhere or other connected in Krishna consciousness, they are doing very well. And many Grihastha family doing very well in ISKCON movement. So you find one of them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else? So you all understood? Okay. Yeah. No, the essence is that we have to re-establish the family institution. If not, we will be failing in our life. A family institution, like, for us, ISKCON is the family. Like Prabhupada said, I left one family, but I got family all around the world. So for us, you all are my family. So we try to, live with the family of ISKCON. Now all of you individually got your family. How to do that? Prabhupada says that you have to read his book every day. You chant some rounds every day. You do small prayer for Krishna. Krishna will help you. Things become very difficult when you forget Krishna. It becomes easier when you remember Krishna. Okay, thank you so much for being here. May we have a very wonderful, Narasimha Dev's festival is coming. No, I think they are going for prasadam or what? What time is the prasadam? They're going to curse me, because they're going to miss the prasadam. Oh, 2 o'clock.
What about the family which we come from?
Yeah.
If it is not a family of devotees, how to take care?
Take care of your family.
Which I come from, my parents,
Okay. How to take care of your parents?
my brothers, my sisters.
Yeah. You don't need to do anything. They'll be doing their own thing. So you go and give them some prasadam and, socialize a bit with them. Just your presence will remind them about Krishna. A different family, like, my family, my brother became a devotee, my mother became a devotee, somewhere or other, some family, they don't become a devotee. Prabhupada said so many demons came to me to fight with me, argue with me, but I put, on bullet, the gulab jamun into their mouth, they finish, they go back. So intelligently you must know whether if they are eager to, hear the philosophy, talk to them philosophy. If they're eager for, some prasadam, give them prasadam. Or they're just eager to little bit socialize with you, bit socialize with them. Whichever way you keep them in connection, the devotee association slowly will change them. For some people it takes short while, but some people take long time, But many, many devotees, I tell you, many, many devotees whose family were not favored in Krishna consciousness, after seeing the devotee 20 years, 30 years, they being in the movement, many family have changed, But they know you are the only steady man in your life. You are the only man, without much of, trouble and difficulty of life. So it depends, how's your family interacting with you. Go back and then always you have to call them and say, Mummy, how are you? Father, how are you? Okay. Just one word, they will remember that, that you're very grateful to them. So, nothing is impossible in Krishna consciousness. Everything is possible. But you have to, always, establish that relationship very nicely. Some people don't like to hear the philosophy, so don't talk to them philosophy. Ask them, how are you? Are you doing okay? Please take care of your health, Make sure that, this way, you wake up a little bit early is good for health. Go for some exercise, make sure that, take care of the children very nicely. Education is very important for them. You give even little bit advice like that. And sometimes they're in difficulty, they will call you and ask for some advice. Somewhere it will work because, Krishna will work through you. So you keep in touch, that's the best thing. Prabhupada says just like, he says like a fire, fire falls in the dry grass, the fire becomes more bigger. The fire falls in the wet grass, the smoke will be there. If the fire falls in the water, the fires will be off, He says, you are like a fire, but, your family environment, if they are like a dry grass, somewhere or other, it will become a big fire of Krishna consciousness. If you are not interested, but still, they're interested in you, they're like, like a wet grass, slowly the smoke will become a fire. Unless they are like, Hiranyakashipu, that Prahlad, you have to be like a Prahlad. So it's all dependence, depends. How's your family? But don't agitate them. Prabhupada says, Shastra, you cannot make anybody Hare Krishna by argument and fight. Religion, you cannot establish religion by argument and fight. Only through love, everything can be established. So you show them the love for them. I go to my family, I see my father. My mother always, wants to become a devotee. My father always will tell, oh, you should get married, this and that, But always I was going back to my father, so my father mellowed down, And my father understand that, you're the only son, more or less, doing well in your life. All the others have got into different kind of trouble and difficulties. So your presence in Krishna consciousness, your advancement in Krishna consciousness, and your steadiness in Krishna consciousness slowly will, change their mindset to, become more, cooperative to Krishna consciousness. So it's in you. Be good to them. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah. You got kids? Where are they here? Third one. At least he's an honest guy, At least he says the third, So at least, that's very good, yeah. So that is what I said. Yeah. Yeah, the first one, as I said, that, Garbhadan Samskara, that, you from the very beginning, there's a system, when, what time and how the union of, husband and wife should come in to produce a first class child, it is mentioned in the scripture. And a lot of our priests, they also know that somebody wants to have a first class, they should follow that procedure. You got two kids, one is third class, the other one is which class? You should be happy as long as they are in the fourth, not in the, not in the fourth class, Hardly anybody can be in the first class, hardly, Kali Yuga. But there can be, somebody can be in the second class. But majority all will be in the third class only. And then the maximum of, any other children, who are not coming from the Vedic civilization, all will be in the fourth class. You have to become a devotee first. You become a good devotee, they will follow. Krishna says in the chapter 3:21, Yat yat acharati sresat, tat tat ivattarojana, that whatever the leaders does, the others will follow. There was a mother, she was bringing up the child. The boy don't have a father. But the mother was taking care, but only child, the mother also cannot be, very strict like a man. So she was in love with this boy. She was providing everything. The boy is like a spoiled kid, So then he was stealing little bit here and there. He steal something in the school. The teachers come and tell the mother, oh, you have to take care of your son, he's stealing and all. But she is not correcting him, And she still give more love, like a blind love, So one day, he went and murdered somebody, big problem. Then he was caught by the policeman. He was thrown in the prison. He was sentenced to death, So there's the last day before they hang him, Is there any last wish for you? The boy said, I want to see my mother, When she came, he said, I got to talk to you. So he was in the prison cell, She said, I want to talk to you. And she said, okay, give me a ear, She showed her that you go and bite the ear of the mother. He says, it's all your fault, If you had corrected me when I was child, I wouldn't have done this thing. So you got to be a good gardener. Mahaprabhu say, Mali Hare Kare say, he says that, you want a beautiful tree to come, you have to plant the seed and you should be a good gardener to make sure that the tree grows up very well. So everything comes back again to the parents. So when you are very loving, through that love, you educate your child, then you are successful. And the parent, nowadays the problem is that the parents themselves are not very exemplary. the parents themselves are rottening in their life. They don't even know how among each other should be, for interacting. No, there are parents every day arguing and fighting, talking all kinds of nonsense things in front of the children. How you expect the children can grow well? First of all, there is so much of disunity in the family between husband and wife, and they hope the children can become better. So the first important thing, you read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you become a devotee. Devotee means wonderful qualities are there. That you become very kind, you become very humble, you don't waste your time argument, and you dispose yourself, and you do not find fault on others, you don't become envious of others, you become friendly. So many beautiful qualities are there. So when you become a devotee, then, your qualities will come out, Slowly that will spread in your family, So there are all better chances for your children to become better, provided and you and husband sit together and work out everything in a very Krishna conscious way. Krishna is God himself, but he also go and makes jokes with Rukmani, and he plays around, but sometimes he's very serious, sometimes he's jovial. Krishna moves around in a very wonderful family way. So it's a hard you have to learn, but importantly you become a devotee. Very important. You chant Hare Krishna. You read Prabhupada books every day, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It will give you a lot of information, how to be yourself very nicely, how to interact with others very nicely, how to be, with the children. It gives you a lot of information. So please, every day you read Prabhupada books and chant Hare Krishna and do small puja for Krishna and your family. You will see the greatest transformation. Past few days we've been reading, the subject matter of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he was very disappointed with his father. He was very disappointed with his stepmother. And he, so much he wanted to, re-establish himself more powerful than his father. He wanted to show to the stepmother that, he much more better than anybody else. So much vengeance, so much of, anger he had in himself. And his mother told him, you become a devotee, you'll get the mercy of Krishna. When you get the favor of Krishna, you get the favor of everybody in the world. So he went to the forest under the advice of Narada Muni. He became a very good devotee. The moment he became a devotee, he changed himself. No more anger, no more frustration, no more envious. He began to behave, very godly. And the stepmother saw him, great transformation. The stepmother also changed, and she blessed him in this way. When you change, everything else will change. I was in China about 6-7 years ago. No, must be about 8-9 years ago. I was preaching. One part of China is called Chengdu. So I was doing one program in the family, because China, you cannot go into the street, wear all this dress and go. It's a communist country. So we go very quietly and do program in the houses of the Chinese people. So I was in a program in the Chinese family, and there was Chinese, some old lady was there, and then a daughter, the old lady about 55 over, then the daughter about 24 something, and they were in the class. After the class, I was talking to them, and then I asked the girl, your mother is a devotee, where's your father? Didn't come? She said, my father is not a devotee. Oh, like that, Then I said, your mother is a devotee, but your father is not a devotee. How come you choose to become a devotee? Did not choose to go your father way? She said, because she saw great changes in the mother's attitude. She said, my mother is a very angry person. When she become angry, she throw everything in the kitchen, all flying, big fight, My father also become afraid of my mother. But the moment my mother become a devotee chanting Hare Krishna, my mother changed completely. So that make me to also follow my mother, because I want to become more calm and peaceful. So I follow my mother, because I saw the changes in my mother. Important, before changing others, we have to try to change ourselves. And you will see, definitely, there will be changes coming in. The charity began at home first. That is why even United Nations, Prabhupada says, when in 1945, they started the United Nations after the World War, they thought, we got to be united. So when they established United Nations in 1945 or so, that time they only had the 47 flags, and today they've got 190 flags. So instead of more unity, they become more disunited, because, they have lost the basic principle that, importantly that, they have to change themselves first before try to change others. That is why Arjuna today telling that, the family, institution is very, very important. Otherwise, your life become hellish in the world. True or not? So take care of your family. May Krishna gives you all the bless. You have come to the temple. There's a reason that Narasimha I brought you, to all the way. You're from India, or where are you originally? Well, I'm from Tamil Nadu also. Which part of Tamil Nadu? Tirunelveli. Oh, you're related to Stalin, or what? They wanted to destroy the Sanatan Dharma. So now, say you are born in South India, you are from there, but some reason you have come here. And for some other important reason, Narasimha has brought you to Shimasalam for nowhere. This place is inside like a forest here, from nowhere. Not even in South India, he took you to any place there, but he brought you here. So Narasimha has got a very wonderful plan for you. All you have to do is that try to become his devotee. You will see tremendous changes will be there. He has got his plan, follow his plan. Okay, thank you so much for being here today, and have a wonderful day, after your prasadam. And then hopefully we, come together for the bigger festival of Prahlad Narasimha Dev, appearance day. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanande.